bring on Peter McGuire, Chief Executive Officer at Exim Australia, joining in with us right now. Peter, very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in with us. And yes, India versus Australia, that's what we're watching out for on Sunday. I can see you wearing the tie. I'm wearing blue to support India as well, right? So yes, hoping for a good match on Sunday. But, Peter, let's talk about crude, right? That's been very exciting as well. Look at the fall that we've seen coming in crude. Today, crude is, in this morning, it was at around $77 per barrel, lowest level since July. We're waiting for the OPEC meet, which is on November 26th. What are you expecting now? What should one watch out for here? Peter, I believe your mic is on mute.
Sorry, may the best team win on... No, I've got that. Sorry, May the best team win on Sunday. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Sorry. May the best team win on Sunday, and moving straight along. So as far as oil market, it certainly has collapsed and it's entering bear market territory. We understand as far as algorithms and what may have happened with trade over the sell-off. There was no doubt that, you've got automated trades, and that just seems to be a cascading event, people closing positions, and that's how the markets trade, and, something washed out as heavily as 5%. There's been a build in US inventories amplified by weak macro growth globally, and that really is a pretty much a handbrake. So, yeah, the market's been sold off, and we've just got to see where it finds a floor in the next couple of sessions.
Hi, Peter. Somad also joining in to the conversation. So technically what we are seeing right now is that when crude is now at around 77, the RSI of crude has come down to 30. And in the past 3 years, what we have seen that whenever RSI comes around the 30, that is the oversold zone, we have seen a sharp bounce back in crude prices. So are you expecting a similar kind of move now going forward as well?
Yeah, look, I think it's a great question. And, and the RSI is really a demonstration for all the technical traders. They need to look at a series of, technicals and get, I think, an opinion. And yes, once it hits that, won't be surprised to see it bounce. So, it could be another violent, move to the upside. That's where I want to just see what happens in the next session or two, certainly tonight in New York, and then see if there's buying activity from these sort of numbers, or there's a further consolidation, a little bit further push to the downside. So it's very hard to tip, but I think the volatility is here to stay, and these big swings, I think that's probably how we're going to roll into Christmas. Volatile and, plenty of movement.
Okay, when it comes to, now on the fundamental side, if you see, what we are seeing is that in the month of October, the crude refining throughput in China has slowed down. Do you expect this trend to continue, or is it just happened in October because in September it was at a record high, hence there was a slowdown in October, and you don't expect similar trend to continue going forward?
Well, I think that's so true. I mean, 1 month it's up and the other month there's a pullback, so, it has to even itself out. I want to see, we're conscious as far as those numbers being released, a week and a bit ago, as far as export numbers from China. It's weak demand globally, so that's a concern for them. As far as domestic demand internally, we all understand that China is not really firing on, 8 cylinders. It's probably firing on, 6 or 6.5. And they need to take whatever action is required to try and build domestic consumption, and that's the state of play at the moment. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, possibly a little bit further softness as far as demand picture for China, and we've just got to see how it all rolls again leading into Christmas.
Peter, just want to get a sense in terms of where do you see crude now in the next 6 months? What is the target that we should expect in terms of crude?
I think it's so volatile. You've got to look at downward and say possibly, if you're looking at Brent, and Brent's sitting at the best part of now 77.5, so possibly, 75. I think 75 would about pull it up, because I feel as though there'd be quite a stern reaction from OPEC Plus and the likes of Saudis and Russia. They naturally want higher prices. And to the upside, if you don't have geopolitics, stirring the whole the cake, then I feel as though that, maybe 85 to 90 could be about it. But we've just got to see if those big breakouts and what happens as far as geopolitical tensions or anything else that can sweep up the market and really take it on a big, push to the upside very quickly.
Thank you so much, Peter, for joining in with us this afternoon on ETNOW, talking to us about crude, as well as, yes, hope the best team wins on Sunday. Keeping an eye out on that. Thank you so much, Peter, for joining in with us.